What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to break down what's happening with the economic calendar, not to mention some new news involving the NHTSA requesting more information from Tesla for their investigation. But before I begin to devil's information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, for Tesla, Tesla's been just shuffling for the last 3 hours, very close to our 200 EMA, trying to hold above it, which is not bad whatsoever. But when it comes to the way it's moving, it's still range bound, not really doing anything too crazy. I mentioned to everyone that Tesla might see some downwards pressure, and as you can see, Tesla was down for the first half of the day, shuffling in this 174 to 176 zone for quite some time. And then during the last few hours, Tesla did push a little bit higher, and now it's just kind of consolidating right over here. This is actually a sign of strength because Tesla's just barely in the green. So it started off red, got a bit of a dip before getting back up, and now it's just trading sideways. Whereas the overall market is actually a little bit in the red as we start to see more sellers stepping in. So that is a decent sign for Tesla. So I'm going to first talk about some news now and break down more details about that before I get into more details about the charts. As a reminder, that for tomorrow is going to be Thursday. Before the market opens, we have initial jobless claims and some very important GDP numbers. We'll see what this causes for the markets. It's going to likely cause a big move, in my personal opinion. Will this cause a bounce or not? So that's going to be very, very important. And we'll see what the move is for the markets once all this data comes out. So I'll be watching that very, very carefully. That's going to be key for how we end up moving tomorrow. So big data comes out for tomorrow. So if you want to hold overnight, that's your choice. And then when it comes to Tesla, there's been some big news that came out that the NHTSA is seeking records from Tesla in another investigation into the Model 3 and Model Y over power steering loss reports. And that's very, very important. The agency wants Tesla's records by July 24th about their steering components, and they're covering an investigation of about 334,000 of the Model 3 and Model Y vehicles from 2023. And that's very important because with these reports over power steering losses, excuse me, that's going to be very important because they're trying to do what they can to improve the safety of this, kind of look into what's going on, and they're trying to identify any problems that could be kind of like part of all of these reports. Now they're trying to find solutions as well for any potential defects and things like that. So we will see what happens with all of this, and they're trying to continue this out over the next couple of months. So far, Tesla's not really responded. We're just waiting to see what they end up saying. But this is what's going on right now. They have this big investigation going on over 115 reports on the loss of steering control, and that actually covers about 334,000 Model 3s and Model Ys. On top of all of this, they had an opened preliminary evaluation in July of 2023. This actually started off with about 280,000 Model 3s and Ys, and they actually have more complaints, at least that were going on since 2023. So with all these complaints, they're continuing to kind of like kind of address this. They've been saying that there's a lot of reports about how their steering becomes kind of locked, kind of stuck, and they are very concerned about that. So we will see what Tesla does about this. With these kind of like issues with suspension and other issues like that, we will see what Tesla does in response and how they end up fixing these issues. So that's going to be very important for the safety of their drivers and such. On top of all of this, Elon Musk is urging shareholders to vote on the pay package with a very, very special offer. And basically, the people that vote have a chance to win a personally guided tour of the Austin Gigafactory with Elon Musk himself. So, very, very awesome stuff. He is incentivizing people to vote because, in his opinion, he probably wants this pay package to get through. And he's hoping that they will reinstate it because, once again, this is what Elon Musk was. And he was kind of like promised this, at least in the very beginning. Maybe the pay package has increased and decreased over some time, but it still is, once again, something that he wants. And he also made a lot of demands for Tesla in order for him to continue to develop AI and such. So we'll see what happens during the tour. Uh, he is offering people the ability to make these changes and to go on these tours by June 12th. And the meeting is going to be on June 13th. So we will see how that ends up going for them. And also on top of that, Tesla is going to require proof that you voted and for things like that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure a lot of people would love to actually tour the Gigafactory with Elon Musk, meet him, and that's going to be very, very awesome. And that's going to be very cool. So I can't wait to see how things go. And with this very, very big incentive, that's going to be key, at least for Tesla for the time being. So, anyways, what do I see for the markets? Now I'm just going to break down the charts. As you guys know, SPY is showing some weakness right now. Tesla's holding up decently. Tesla has support currently in this 176 zone. That's where our three EMAs happen to be on the hourly time frame. If we lose the 176s, I'd watch 175, then 173. Our resistance happens to be all the way up to 178. Breaking that opens the door for 180. Overall, we're still kind of stuck, at least within this range, but I still see potential in Tesla to try to outperform the market, maybe even try to push a little higher for the time being. So it's building some strength right now. It's not extremely strong to the point where it's squeezing, but it's still holding up decently. So we will see how well it does from here. I just want to note that Tesla is once again still stuck within this range, and there's not really a whole lot going on with it until we get a big break, which could take a couple of weeks. But when you see it kind of like outperforming the market, that's a pretty decent sign. For SPY, we're showing a little bit of weakness right now. We're just barely holding very close to where our 200 EMA happens to be, this 526 area. Losing 526 would open the doors for us to continue to fall all the way down towards 524.8, around that area. Losing that opens the doors for 523. So the whole support zones I called out in my previous video still hold. SPY has been shuffling the 526s, and it is showing some weakness right now. It's just in the low 526s. So we'll see how it does. Once again, I'm still seeing weakness on the charts. There is a risk of it dipping more, so we will see how it goes. But just be open minded for this, and just know that the GDP numbers and initial jobless claims for tomorrow will affect if this continues. But so far, the bears are winning, in my personal opinion. For Nvidia is still holding up very well. Like I said, it's still very strong. We have resistance currently at 1150. We're still holding up around here. Our support is actually closer to 1140 and also 1134 now, as the 20 EMA, excuse me, is actually pushing a little upwards. So we're still stuck at resistance, still kind of shuffling. I think we may continue like this for quite some time, and we will see if Nvidia starts to cool off or not. But overall, it's still holding up, and it may continue to just shuffle at least for now. And then later on, there is still more upside potential for it because it's still holding up very, very well. That's for like the more medium term. For Bitcoin, we are still holding up relatively decently right over here, shuffling around this 67,500 area. Our support happens to be at 67,000 flat, the very low area right there. If we lose that, I'll be looking for a move all the way down to 66,600. Our resistance happens to be all the way up around 67,800. So I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to shuffle around here. Could try to rebound a bit, actually retest our 20 EMA at 67,800 before we just continue lower. But overall, the trend is still more bearish, and Bitcoin is continuing to shuffle. For the QQQ, the triple Q, in my personal opinion, is showing a little bit of weakness. We're on a bit of a downtrend right here. If we continue to fall, we have this resistance to be watching for around 457. If we break through this, watch 458, then 460. And our support happens to be at 455. We're kind of shuffling right here in this 457 area. If we do lose that support, I'll be looking at 455 as our next target. And losing that would open the doors for the 453 gap fill. So right now, the QQQ is just trading sideways. This needs a little bit more time to determine its direction, but it's still kind of stuck within a range. For Aapl, we're showing a little bit of weakness. We have our 50 EMA over here at 190.6. If we lose this, we'll be looking for a dip all the way down to 189.3. And we have resistance at 192. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually dip lower and lose our 50 EMA just for a bit. We did call out a test of the 20 EMA, which happened, but I still think that there's a risk of it dipping a little bit lower, so watch that support very carefully. Just for a few more, for Coinbase, we came all the way down to about 233. So it came a little bit above my 232 target. Now it's trying to rebound, testing 240 as resistance. So it's still stuck at 240. We will see how it kind of reacts to this. If we lose 235 to 232, we turn bearish. If we manage to hold above 240, we could try to push higher again to fill this imbalance at 245. So watch and see, we're kind of range bound. Amazon got a little rejection here off this 184 area. Our support is going to be around 182. If we lose that, I'll be watching 180.8, around that area. Our resistance happens to be at 183, so we might just shuffle within this range for some time. So I'd give this some time before anything else. For Meta has support currently at the 50 EMA, around 475. We have resistance at 478 and then also 480. If 475 ends up breaking, we'll be looking for a dip all the way down towards 472. But overall, it's still holding up relatively well. So watch and see how it holds that 50 EMA. So give that some time. GME is also looking a little bit weak. We have this 50 EMA as resistance. If we get a rejection here, then yes, we could actually dip a little bit lower towards 20. So we'll have to wait and see how GME does here, but there is a risk of it dipping lower. And the same thing with AMC. We're just shuffling around 4.5. It might try to rebound a bit. I think this might try to rebound if we hold 4.5. I'll be looking for a retest of our 200 EMA at 4.64. So we will see if we hold 4.5 or not. Otherwise, I still think that there's a nice accumulation forming on AMC, and there is upside potential for the month of, June to July. But for now, we are a little bit weak, so we'll see how it reacts to about 4.5. Anyways, That is it for the video, guys. I want to thank you all so much for listening. As far as Tesla goes, it's building some strength right now. It is stuck within a very, very tight range, so it's taking its time. But I just want to say it is commendable that Tesla's holding up a little bit better right now. And let's hope that we hold above our key EMAs. That gives us more upside potential for tomorrow. Let's hope and see how Tesla goes. Anyways, with this tight range, Tesla's been stuck in going back and forth and back and forth. Be patient, give it some time, and things will improve. I still believe that there is a lot of upside potential forming on the chart, but you have to wait some time until the move comes. So for now, we're just range bound. Give it some time. In the future, there will be likely more upside coming, but not yet. So give Tesla time, be very patient, and I'll see you guys very soon in just a couple of hours. Thank you for listening, and peace out.